Hello and welcome back. I'm Lawrence Pizzi from NYukco, and this is next to me.
Bonnie Sandy, and you can find us on facebook.com/NYukco, or you can find these discussions on bklyn.tv.
Now, I need to comment on our last segment. We were talking about time, and my friend here, Bonnie, was talking something ridiculous about I work for myself, so I'm not accountable.
That's what people
I
do.
understand, I see it around me, but to me it's so illogical because when I work for somebody, I try to be very efficient. And I know I'm getting a paycheck, so I'm comfortable with the income. When I work for myself, I don't know where the money's coming from. And I like to eat. I need to keep this figure. I wasn't born like this.
But Lawrence, here's the thing. You also have been working for yourself a number of years.
That's true.
And the switch, I am second generation of this. My mom did this. Okay, the switch from working for someone to working for yourself is a real tough mental change. When you walk into the office late, it's deducted from your salary. There's no one who will deduct your salary in their mind if you walk into the office late. Now, it does show up at the end of the month when you don't get your paycheck, but that connection takes years to make. And the reason I brought this up is one of the first artists, the one who actually got me doing these workshops in 2003, connected with me again and said, you know how it is. It's tough for me. Maybe I should hire you to kick me in the butt. And I said, well, it costs now for me to kick you in the butt. But it's a real, a lot of people say, I'm getting into my own business. And the reason we're doing these preemptive before actually open it up is because it's a switch. Even coming here, you need to know the same words. You need to understand certain theories. You don't need to agree with them, but you need to be able to discuss them. You need to be able to be honest.
And to illustrate to us why you don't agree, because you've been through this, you've seen that. I've
Right.
done this and got that, not B, but
Right.
got C.
And so a lot of, when the question, people always just hang up the phone on me and get real pissed at sometimes because for me to do my job, I have to hit you where it counts. I've got to let you face your truth. And one of the hardest truths for most people to face is the issue of time. And I remember someone saying to me, I don't have the time, I don't have the time. And I said, okay, your job is to bring me your calendar your agenda and your calendar diary of what you did for the week next week. And she blew up. I am a grown woman, how dare you tell me? I said, but you just told me you don't have time. So my job is to help you find time. Well, no. I said, but listen to what you just said. I don't have time, and in the same breath, I don't want to tell you how I spend my time. You're not telling me, because in the end, I'm doing what I need to do. You're not being accountable to yourself.
And the accountable to me, I guess, translates to being honest.
It is, but
with yourself.
We're in New York, a lot of people lying.
Yeah.
We're in fashion, a lot of people lie about them.
Really?
Yes, the reality, fashion, film, the creative arts is about creating fantasy.
Smoke and mirrors.
Yes, and some of them extend that fictional character to their daily lives.
When in reality, especially fashion, is such a calculated, overly planned, overly extended business that we're working now for what we're going to sell and collect in 12 to 16 months.
And we're shaping the language, shaping how people read that. And some of us think we can shape our own realities in the same way.
And really, yeah.
We can wear the right clothes, put the right lipstick on, and we're fabulous. And I'll tell you, it's tough. I make a lot of sacrifices to be doing this. And I am very in a phase where I show this openly to people, and they're shocked that I will do so. You know, it meant having, I remember, this is a true story. A young man asked me to help him, and I said to him, okay, so let's do inventory. And one of the second things, the first is time, the second we'll speak about next week is budget. You gotta
Ooh.
you gotta cut your budget down. And
Roman noodles.
and he said to me, "What do you mean?" I said, "Let's look at what your bills are. You've got to cut out cable." "How dare you, do you think?" And he went off. You would have sworn I told him to cut off his pinky. He met me about 10 years later, still in the same position. Still working because he's afraid to make the sacrifices. And a lot of people do that. They work and they work to keep a lifestyle. It is very rare. You cannot serve two masters. At some point, you're going to have to put aside one master to take up the second full time. And whatever you do, so you will have to drastically cut your lifestyle. And that's a reality no one wants to deal with.
But if you're planning to start, let's say I want to start my collection, I'm dreaming about it, I would already be cutting out all the fluff and puff so I can save money, because when I start, nobody's paying me. I have to pay for everything.
That's you.
I know,
That's, I'm
a freak of nature in the fashion
right.
business.
And to do this project, I've cut out everything because there are no resources. We have no backing, and the only way to really do it in a way that would benefit it is not to be beholden to somebody who's writing a check.
And telling us what we can and cannot say.
Yeah, and I was offered funding to do this with the enclave that blacks could not be in it.
Well, I'd like to see you do that.
Well,
Come on.
the person looked at me and said that.
So they're blind. I'm sorry. I like that.
She said, the only thing that the caveat is that, and I didn't even get angry because I understood what she said. You'd have to tone down on the black folks on your side.
Okay, I need to just add this very quickly, just a little side note. A while back, a long time ago, I called the police because I heard some fighting with a gun outside my apartment. And the policewoman goes, "Well, are they black?" I said, "Well, they're many colors." "Are they Latinos?" I said, "I don't know, they weren't speaking."
It is a problem, and we fail to realize it. And because we deal with locals and ethnicity, our group is about giving everyone who has talent opportunities. But you've got to understand, to be in Manhattan, the cost will triple.
Easily, if not tenfold.
Tenfold. To be in Brooklyn, you've got to travel 2-3 hours. So you've got to make sure you cannot be walking in here 4 o'clock in the afternoon and then tell me, "Oh, I know you were waiting on me so that..."
Well, I show up late from when I should be here, but it's always earlier before the group starts.
Right, but
That's because I commute from Harlem and
that you have
the subways.
to leave in time. So when you have the responsibility of time, I know it's a hard topic to deal with. You're not doing anybody a favor by showing up on time.
Well, with another issue with the on-time thing is, if we're having a meeting from 12 to 2, don't call at 2:15, "I can't make it, I have to reschedule." Call me at 10 a.m., because that way I may want to take a bubble bath. I may want to Photoshop some pictures. Believe me, yes.
You and I know this, that if something is supposed to arrive in the showroom at a certain time and it doesn't,
Oh, that's gone. That's
it's
it.
gone. They have no responsibility to accept it. And that is why a lot of people will say, "Oh, I lost," because you had no respect for time. So it's a discipline that needs to be developed. And
Yes.
I'm not perfect. I'm from Trinidad. Trust me. It takes me a while to do this so that I know that if I'm going somewhere for 11 o'clock, I have to plan to leave the house by 8, which is ridiculous, but it means I'll be there by 11 because inevitably life happens.
A bus, a train doesn't show up. Yeah.
And so the first thing, if you're doing any type of business, there's another thing I do is make you account for your hourly rate. If you want to make 6 figures, you're going to have to earn $75 an hour. And that means whatever you're doing for every hour has got to bring in $75 an hour.
And that's where, at the beginning, you can be the seamstress and CEO and PR and Photoshop expert and social media manager and showroom cleaner and everything
You've
else.
got to organize your time
But-
to be able to do that.
Yes, and as you grow and as sales grow, you bring in people at the lower rates so that you can fill the job that makes the bigger rate and brings in more business, grows your
But you've
company
got
more.
to put a figure on your time. And this is something people don't do. What is your time per hour? We're doing this. And
Well, if you want to work for free, you can come over. If you know how to sew, how to make knit.
you've got to. And here's the thing. There are places you can go to find out what's the current rate in your industry. And so if you're sitting down and you're meeting someone and it's 3 hours, you're just lollygagging, you got to realize, no, that's not just 3 hours having fun. I just spent, if you're doing $40 an hour, I just spent $90.
120, 3 hours.
Yeah, 40.
120.
Yeah, I was thinking,
Sorry.
Yeah, 120.
You see who's
Yeah.
number conscious.
And it's 100. So I just spent $120 an hour.
Yeah.
And the fact is, you haven't given it out. But if you become conscious of what that figure is per time, it changes.
Well, the reality is, eventually you have to fire somebody to do that job that wasn't done for those 3 hours.
So time is important, and so get on top of your time. It's something you can do by the end and say, yes, this is what I changed in 2015.
Ciao.